Good morning and welcome back. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. We're going to get right into our weekly meetings. As you know, our annual retreat is coming up. And I'm really excited about it. I hope that you all are really excited about it. I know as us, that we work virtually, and so this is a time when we get to see each other than just via Skype. We get a chance to actually come together and really just catch up, connect with each other, and really build on our bond and strengthen our bond as a team. So I'm really excited about that. I hope you all are really excited about it. So that's going to be coming up. We this year, and I know that some of you have noticed it as well over the past, I'd say, few months. Um, there's been a lot of issues that have come up for all of us that involve work-family spillover. And I know that at our last meeting we talked a little bit about, what we saw as work-family conflict, how we perceive it, how we believe it affects us, how we believe it affects our team. And so it is a very, very important issue, a big one. I wanted to go over with you a little bit of what we talked about last week in terms of work-family conflict and kind of what we came up with as far as what we believe the effects were on both us and our teams. We said wasted time was one of the big ones. Bad decisions can be made, loss of communication, and that's both at home and at work. We talked about having a fragmented team, loss of employees. If the conflict really gets big, people may choose to go somewhere else and work, that's somewhere that's more drama free, right? Lowered morale. We talked about sickness, sickness and loss of health. That's a big one because stress really does have that type of effect on us. So it really can affect our health. Um, Frequent spousal arguments. A lot of times if there's a lot of conflict happening here and we have to drop the ball on another end, it does lead to arguments because we are fatigued, because we are stressed out. And so our tempers are lower than they may, our threshold is lower than it might normally be. Child neglect, that's a big one, not having the time that we need for our families. Loss of work time, and then an increased health cost, and that's to the company. When folks are sick, when folks are, going to the doctor more, when folks are taking off more, all of those things affect the company as a whole. And so that's why we believe this is such a big issue. It's an issue that not only affects us on an individual level, on a familial level, but it also affects us as a team and it affects the company as a whole. And so because of that, we've actually decided that this year our annual retreat will revolve around this issue of work-family conflict. It's going to be entitled Understanding, Resolving, and Preventing Work-Family Conflict. We have a world-renowned author coming in who spent a lot of time and done a lot of research around work-family conflict and the issues that arise around it and how to not only prevent it, because the reality is we only have so many hours in the day. I wish we had, another 6 or 8 hours. I know many of you have expressed to me that you wish we had another 6 to 8 hours, but we don't have another 6 to 8 hours. We only have 24 hours a day. And we are dedicated professionals as well as dedicated family members. And so we have to find ways in which um, to have our work and our family lives coexist, or peacefully collide, right? So that's what this retreat is going to be about. Now, I wanted to take a little bit of time to meet with everyone individually, our Skype meetings individually around this issue. Because while this is an issue that definitely affects, the company and it definitely affects the team, it's a personal issue as well. It's an individual issue. And so I wanted to definitely set up some time to meet with each team member individually around this issue, both pre-retreat as well as post-retreat. so that we want to make sure that we're covering everything. When I go back and I have the senior management meeting, I want to be able to rightfully reflect and to accurately reflect your concerns. So I want to meet with everyone individually. What I'd like to do is I would like to have you, when we meet, consider the following guiding questions. And these are just guiding questions, things to get your mind really rolling around this subject. Of course, I want to hear everything that you have to say on this subject, that I can hear within our hour meeting. But these are just some guiding questions I'd like you to consider, and I've also emailed these to you as well. But so what work-family conflict issues have you personally dealt with over the past year? What issues regarding work-family conflict have you observed within our team over the past year? Are there any other issues that we need to address in order to come up with good solutions for our work family issues? Is there something that we've left out? Is there another issue that you think needs to be brought up around our discussion and our solution finding mission for this important issue? And what is your best specific suggestion on how we can resolve and or prevent work-family conflict for the upcoming year? Those are some of the guiding questions that I'm asking all of you to consider as we kind of go into this next period of time. We'll be setting up meetings for you and I to meet over the next 3 to 4 weeks. So these are just questions that I want you to begin to really consider, really spend some time with and contemplate, and really think about how we can better serve each other as team members and as professionals. Before we conclude this meeting, I'd like to do something that we do often. I'd like for us to take some time to reflect, and kind of, we can call it a check-in, just to kind of, let us know, is how you're feeling. Is there anything specific around this issue? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling just great, happy? Are there any issues around work-family conflict that are affecting you right now that you'd like to share with us? Does anyone have anything that they'd like to share? We'll check in and kind of give everyone an opportunity. Anyone? Okay. Well, it seems like nobody really wants to start, so I guess I'll start. So right now, for me, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed, I must say. Being the lead on the retreat, as well as having family come in from out of town this week, as well as planning our son's birthday party for this weekend, has me feeling quite a bit overwhelmed. And I actually did exactly what I'm asking us to do now. I shared this in our senior management meeting. We had check-ins, and they, and I shared that, I was feeling overwhelmed with everything that's going on. And my boss, VP Salas, actually suggested we came up with some ways to mitigate what's going on this week, because often with work-family conflict, it's not often an ongoing thing. A lot of times it really depends upon what's going on in our lives at that particular time. Remember, work-family conflict deals with when we have kind of competing issues. So we have something going on in our family life that's competing with what we have going on in our work life. And so that doesn't always happen. Sometimes are more just hectic than others at work and within our family. And sometimes those two collide and it goes on at the same time. So I shared that, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with everything that's coming up this week. And so we came up with some great ways to help mitigate that. My son's birthday party's on Friday, and so one of my team members suggested that maybe I work a half a day on Friday, just work from home, work the morning a half a day, and then take the rest of the day off, and then come in and work a half a day on Saturday to just kind of make up for it. That's huge for me, because there are a lot of things that I need to take care of from at home, as well as having guests coming in Thursday night. So being able to be there in the morning is huge for me, and having that day, often being able to shift that day to Saturday. So that was a great solution. Um, we also saw, because I am actually the team lead for the retreat, we saw that there were some areas that I needed to delegate. There were some areas that I could delegate some of the tasks for the retreat planning. And so we were able to do that as well. And those two things have made a huge difference in how I was feeling on Friday coming into Monday, and versus how I'm feeling, you know, after our Friday morning meeting going into Monday now. Just made a big difference. And so oh, now it looks like folks have something to share. Okay, well, we're getting to sharing. And I look forward again to seeing all of you. Let me just say before we'll move counterclockwise, but let me say that, again, like, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in our individual meetings, getting a chance to really talk with you one-on-one. I'm hoping that you'll consider the questions that that I brought up for you to just to be guiding questions. Such an important issue, and I want you to know that as your team manager, as well as a company as a whole, we are a team. We don't call ourselves a team to just because it sounds good, but we're a professional team. But we're also a team that cares about each other and is here to support one another. So as we get into sharing, I look forward to hearing from you, and we'll go, how about Tamara, why don't you start, and then we'll go clockwise. All right.